Hello, Outlaw Nation, and welcome back to the Outlaw Dynasty Outlaw Insider Season 2 Offseason. Disappointing loss there in the Sugar Bowl to Oklahoma, but nothing to really get our heads down about. A great season, 11-3. We win a conference championship in Rich Mahogany's second season, so something to be proud of and something to build on as we move forward, looking for bigger and better things. But let's take a look back at the Season 2. Let's check out the final top 25, see the final conference results, the bowl results, and move ahead into the offseason. Let's go. All right, Rich Mahogany gets an upgrade point after the Sugar Bowl. We are going to drop that into letter of intent to give us an additional $1,500 in offseason recruiting. So hopefully we can pick up some of these guys here in this next offseason recruiting period. Boom. There you go. Upgrade, baby. All right, the final top 25. Tennessee finishes number one, winning a back-to-back national championship there. So that's 2 in a row for the Vols. Oklahoma 2, Nebraska, Clemson, Florida, USC, Oregon, Illinois. Your Oklahoma Tech Outlaws and Northwest Missouri round out the final top 10. Cal, Arkansas, Bowling Green, Army, Arizona, UTEP, Tulane, Iowa, Minnesota, Georgia, 11 through 20. And Central Mo, Florida State, Miami, Ohio, Louisville, and Purdue round out the final top 25 of 2036. Bowl results. Stanford knocks off Air Force in the New Mexico Bowl. San Jose State loses big time to Bowling Green in the Potato Bowl. Notre Dame over Hawaii in the Poinsettia Bowl. Beef O'Brady's Louisiana Tech beats East Carolina. Arkansas State over UAB in the New Orleans Bowl. New Mexico over Washington in the Vegas Bowl. Colorado State falls to UTEP, and the UTEP knocks off the Heisman Trophy winner there in the Hawaii Bowl, so that's a nice win for the conference. Indiana over Central Michigan in the Little Caesars Bowl. Northern Illinois over NC State in the Military Bowl. Utah over West Virginia in the Holiday Bowl. The U over Rutgers in the Belt Bowl. Independence Bowl goes to Virginia Tech over BYU. Army over Virginia in the Sweatpants Bowl. You got Maryland over Houston in the Meineke Bowl. Central Mo over Nevada in the Armed Forces Bowl. Cal over Tulane in the Fight Hunger Bowl. Arizona over Texas Tech in the Alamo Bowl. Iowa drills Baylor in the Wild Wings Bowl. LSU over Pittsburgh in the Music City Bowl. Arizona State over Syracuse in the Sun Bowl. Northwest Missouri over Navy in the Liberty Bowl. Louisville over Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Pittsburgh State over Wisconsin in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Purdue thumps Bama in the Gator Bowl. Florida over Michigan in the Capital One Bowl. Georgia over Minnesota in the Outback Bowl. Nebraska tops USC in the Rose Bowl. Illinois over Florida State in the Fiesta. We lose to Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. Oregon drills Arkansas in the Orange Bowl. Mississippi State over Texas in the Cotton Bowl. UCF over Ohio State in the Compass Bowl. Miami, Ohio over Southern Miss in the GoDaddy Bowl. Tennessee knocks off Clemson in the national championship game for the back-to-back national championships. That is your bowl results for the 2036 season. Final conference standings for 2036. Clemson, of course, takes the ACC with a 12-2 and an undefeated record in conference. Final conference standings for 2036. The ACC goes to Clemson, followed by Louisville there. The American goes to Tulane with Army there, Navy right behind them. Big 12, Oklahoma, followed by Texas and Texas Tech. Big Ten goes to Nebraska with Michigan, Illinois right behind them. Minnesota, Purdue, Iowa, all 9-4. Conference USA goes to the Outlaws with Northwest Missouri, UTEP, and Central Mo behind them. Independence, who cares? The MAC, Miami, Ohio, followed by Central Michigan and Bowling Green. Mountain West, New Mexico, Hawaii, Colorado State. Pac-12, USC, followed by Arizona and Oregon. The SEC, Tennessee goes undefeated with Arkansas and Florida right behind them. And then the Sun Belt goes to UAB, followed by Southern Miss. That is a final look at the 2036 conference results. All right, final season stats for the Outlaws. Romero finishes the season 218 of 320 for 3,154 yards, 32 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Solid season for JR. He didn't throw a lot of interceptions there in the second half of the season until that last one there in the bowl game, which was tough. Of course, Beef 1 for 1 on the year on that fake punt. Rushing, R.J. Anderson with a monster year, 223 carries for 1648, 20 touchdowns. Ron Ross, 95 carries for 582 and 5. Getty, 54 carries for 398 and 6 touchdowns. Romero had 44 carries for 138 and 2 scores. David Vela, just 6 yards, but he got him a rushing touchdown this year. And then Beef had a fake punt, which he converted one, and another one he got dropped behind the line, which brought his total down to just 1 rushing yard on the season. Receiving, Palmer leads the way with 48 grabs for 959 and 11 scores. Yeti had 45 for 538 and 6. Roan 24/7 as a freshman catches 43 passes for 677 and 6 touchdowns, so a solid freshman campaign for him. Wes Gabriel with 38 grabs for 328 and 2 scores. Johnny D 35 grabs for 443 and 5 touchdowns. Vela 7 catches for 154 and 2. McBride caught a fake punt from Beef. Ron Ross and RJ both had 1 catch each. Ross for 7 yards, and RJ with a great catch on the sidelines against Pittsburgh State for 48 yards. Blocking, 11 pancakes for Bowman, 7 for Payne, 6 for Houston to lead the way. Defensively, Balser leads the way with 73 total tackles, 70 solo on the season. Vela 61, Pittman 56 behind him to lead the way. Tackles for loss, Big Huey Brown, 11 tackles for loss. Stokes and Roberson both had 9 right behind him. Sacks, Big Huey had 5, Roberson had 5, Stokes had 3. Picks, Tommy Scott leads the way as a freshman there with 4 picks. Pittman had 3, Sullivan 2, Simmons 2, Vela 2, and McBride 1. So not a bad year there for the defense. Extended load time for the kicking stats. Beef goes 16 of 17 on the year with a long of 44. Great job there. 8 punts for 386, a 48.2 average, a net of 42.1. Real good there. Returns, Vela 27 for 740. Gray 20 for 525 and a touchdown. Ross had 4 for 88. And punt returns, 22 for 214 for Vela. No punt return touchdowns this season. And that is a look at the final season stats for the Outlaws. Records. Just 1 in the passing game. JR set the passing TDs in the game last season, but this season he sets a record for most touchdown passes in the season with 32. Nothing on the receiving end. That one there, that guy was before we got here. Setting those records there. Hopefully we can break some of those. Defensively, nothing again this year. Stokes set that last season against Pittsburgh State with 4 sacks in a game. And then running the ball, RJ sets 2 records this year with 20 touchdowns in a season, new school record. And then 1,648 yards in a season, also a new school record. So we're putting our mark on the record book here. Overall, JR finished the 6th in the nation in passing with 3,154 yards. R.J. Anderson is the leading rusher in the country at the end of the year with 1,648 yards. Receiving, Palmer finishes 35th in the nation with 959. Balser, Vela, and Pittman are the top 3 tacklers in the nation. How about that? Huey finishes, him and Roberson both finished tied for 142 in the nation with 5 sacks each. And Tommy Scott finishes tied for 32nd in the nation with 4 interceptions. So Outlaw is showing up with some pretty high numbers here on this list, and hopefully we can have bigger numbers than that as we move forward. Into the offseason, going 11-3, winning the school's first conference championship earns us a contract extension. So yes, we will definitely sign that contract because this is where Rich Mahogany wants to be. He wants to build this program, so we are definitely sticking around. So sign that, baby. And moving on. So we sign that contract, and then we lose our offensive coordinator. Jamal Fulton has taken the head coaching job at Cincinnati. Our new offensive coordinator has 1 upgrade, so we might regress a little bit there. Hopefully our improvement over the offseason will help offset that. But yeah, Jamal Fulton getting a head coaching job after leading the Outlaws offense to a great season. Players leaving: Lance Thompson, he wants to transfer to New Mexico State for playing time. The cornerback position is pretty loaded. Tommy Scott already in there, establishing himself as a starter. We do have a lot of seniors, but I think we can fill that void from Thompson leaving and transferring through recruiting. We do lose Edgar Payne, who started for us the last 2 seasons. He did a great job on the offensive line. Matt Lewis didn't see the field a lot this year. He kind of got buried in the depth chart behind Anderson and Ross. Patrick Gray, he finishes not making a lot of catches, but had a huge kick return for a touchdown against Pitt State. Eddie Davis didn't play any this year, had some big plays for us there in Rich Mahogany's first season. Sammy Pittman, he graduates, the king of pick sixes. I think he had 4 total in his last 2 seasons, so that was pretty impressive. It'll hurt to lose him. We lose our senior center, Sean Daly. Our backup quarterback, Ryan Williams. And we lose our starting left tackle, Dustin Jackson, to graduation. Big George Smith graduates, 6'7", 297. So those are the guys leaving the program this year. We wish them well. Hopefully some of them will get a chance to get on some NFL rosters. I know Outlaws drafted this season. Hopefully we can change that in the future. Transfer requests. Nobody requesting to transfer to Oklahoma Tech this year. All right, off-season recruiting. We are now a 3-star school. We got 7 scholarships left, so I added some of these athletes here that didn't have a scholarship offer. And hopefully we might be able to sneak some of these guys in there, and we put points on them and then dumped everything else into Cyrus Perkins, try to get Big Perk's little brother. So hopefully we can get some of these guys locked up and build a little bit more depth. But that's what we're going to go with here for off-season recruiting. All right, so we have 3 of the guys we put points into and 1 of the guys we didn't. We got Cyrus Perkins, one of our priority recruits. He's listed as a tight end, but we'll probably move him to linebacker. We get Andrew Page, a running back. We didn't put any points to. And we get some of those low-lock 3-stars that we didn't put a lot of points into, but they're JUCO guys, and they're coming to the program. A couple defensive tackles there, so not too bad. Looks like we got a top 25 class, signed the top class in conference. Let's check this out. How about that? We finished with the number 12 recruiting class in the nation. 2 5-stars, 4 4-stars, 10 3-stars, and 7 2-stars. And there you see it. We are now a 3-star school. Charles Nolson, the 2 5-star wide receivers. And we got 4-star strong safety, 4-star tackle, 4-star linebacker, and a 4-star athlete. All these 3-stars here. And Perk as a linebacker, I think, could be a 5-star. There you go. There's your recruiting class for season 2 for the Outlaws. Hopefully these guys can come in and be big parts of the program. But that is off-season recruiting for season 2. Position changes. Matt Sullivan, the athlete, he is a quarterback, 79 overall, is a true freshman. We'll probably use him as a backup a little bit, just so he doesn't transfer. But he is a quarterback. No changes here at tailback. No changes at fullback. And here's your wideouts. We didn't have any changes here at wide receiver. We did move Cyrus Perkins to defense, so the tight ends stayed the same. We moved some people around on the offensive line to balance it out a little bit. We moved Ryan Pennington from right tackle to left tackle. We got Clark at guard. He was a JUCO tackle that we signed. We moved him down to guard. He'll be a backup because Richards will pass him after training. Courtney Mayo, our starting center, and we moved some freshmen over from other line positions to give us some depth at center. And we moved some of these tackles that we signed to right guard, and then Langford, we put him at right tackle, the freshman, 4-star freshman from Wewoka. We moved Big Huey to left end. Now I will adjust his awareness back, so his whatever his training results are, he'll be a higher overall because I'm going to put his awareness back to what it was. It was at 80 overall, so we'll put it back to 80, and that will bump him up a little bit in overall. Right end, we moved Stokes over to right end, and we moved Dalek to defensive tackle, and we moved Roberson to defensive tackle. To give us a little more depth there. Probably going to redshirt Pete. And I don't know if Gaither, depending on how many cuts we have to make, he may end up transferring to a different school. At linebacker, we moved Sapp around, one of our signees, and Tyree to left backer. We moved McCall to middle backer. He'll compete and play. Simmons and Beck will have a higher overall, but he'll probably see the field just because of that 90 XL and 81 speed at linebacker. So he'll probably be in maybe on pass rush situations. And Cyrus Perkins, we move him to right outside linebacker. Cornerbacks, no changes there. We put Nick Brown, one of the JUCO athletes, at free safety. May redshirt him. And Tillman, strong safety, no moves there. We did move Beef to kicker, and we will adjust his awareness back as well. So some of these guys that we moved, especially like if you move a defensive lineman from defensive tackle to left end, the drop in awareness is ridiculous. So we'll adjust those back because in reality you wouldn't lose that much. It's not that different in situations like that and on the offensive line. So those are your position changes. Let's go to training results. All right, training results. JR gets a +5. He is now an 88 overall. 85 throw power, 90 throw accuracy. Nice improvement there. And our two redshirt freshmen, Reese +5, Upshaw +4. RJ Anderson with a +6, LaRon Ross with a +6. Fisher, who redshirted last year as a senior, stays around to give us depth, gets a +5. Yeti +5, Morton +4, Gabriel all the wideouts +4. So some improvement there. Tight ends +4, +5. Pennington +4, 82 overall now. And some of the red shirts got a nice little plus there. Richards +4, Lane 6. Mayo with the biggest jump looks like +7 to 81 overall. Nice. Pitts just a +3, but we got guys ahead of him. Some of the JUCO recruits. Dunbar +5. Langford ahead of him. We'll get to start on the offensive line. Big Huey +6. Nice. Put that awareness back up to 80, and he'll probably end up being an 84, 85 overall. Stokes with a +4. Adjust his awareness. Well, actually, we don't have to because he's still a defensive end, so it stayed the same. 80 overall for Stokes. Roberson will adjust his awareness. He'll probably go up to an 84 and an 85 overall. All the D-line gets a +5, so nice there. Sterling Anderson and Johnson, who redshirted last year, go +3, +4. Simmons and Beck go +5. Nelson a +4. And And Frederick, who redshirted last year, gets a +4. Defensively, David Baylor with a +4. Javon Sullivan +5. Tommy Scott +4. Dominic McBride +6. So some improvement there in the secondary. Michael Winchester, our new starting free safety, a +5. And Burrell, who redshirted, also a +5. And then Balser, +4. Beef, +5. That will go up probably to an 89 or 90 overall once we adjust his awareness. And then Monty Berry, a +6. And then all these guys are transferring out of the program. So there are your training results. All right, player cuts, whittling it down to 70 for the roster. This is a look at our 70-man roster. Romero, Sullivan, Reese, and Upshaw at quarterback. Anderson, Ross, Fisher, and Page at running back. Yeti and Morton at fullback. Olson, Charles, Gabriel, Palmer, Doolin, Henderson, Woods, Wilson, and Beard at wideout. Mayfield and Peoples at tight end. Pennington, Bowman, Goins at left tackle. Richards, Lane, and Clark at left guard. Mayo, Berry, and Davis at center. Galloway, Moore, and Pitts at right guard. Langford and Dunbar at right tackle. Big Huey and Walter Henderson at left end. Brian Stokes and Walker at right end. Smith, Trayvon Henderson, Roberson, Flanagan, and Petty at D tackle. Sapp, Tyree, Anderson, and Johnson at left backer. Simmons, Beck, McCall, and Nelson at middle backer. Perkins, Frederick, and Roberts at right backer. Vela, Sullivan, Scott, McBride, Wilson, McBride, Smith, and Singleton at corner. Winchester, Brown, and Burrell at safety. Balser and Tillman at strong safety. Beef is our kicker and punter, and Barry is our backup kicker. That's the final 70-man roster for the Outlaws. All right, that's going to be it for the Season 2 off-season. We appreciate you checking it out and spending some time with us here on Tater Sports Network. Be sure to tune in for the Season 3 kickoff. There's been some rumblings about conference realignment, so we'll see what happens with that. If you're enjoying the Outlaw Dynasty, be sure and hit that subscribe, hit that like, show us a little support, share. We love the comments, hoist trophies, win championships. If you've made it this far into the video, you are a fine, outstanding human being. For the Tater Sports Network, I am Chip D. Till next time, see ya.
You crazy mother...